Hi guys, Randall here, and today we're featuring Summer Elsie at level 114. She's not maxed out, but I feel like she gets a good performance off even at this level. And we'll feature how she works with a bunch of water units together. I would say these guys have really good synergy, and especially in that map, it's possible to get them to have a really solid early turn where everybody has a couple buffs before they go into the fight. So that's what we'll do. If we quickly walk over our characters, we have Mont at almost 7000 HP, 1200 magic, 67 spirit. She's really good against opposite magical characters, but of course physical, she's going to struggle a little bit. Now she might be able to survive some slashing attacks with 35%, but the likes of Duane or super heavy physical attackers are going to get her down in a single hit. So we have to be careful. She will hit super hard though. Then we have Tidus. He's only 115. It would be better to have him at 120, but hey, that's what I've got. He doesn't have that much attack. Our setup is more of a magic-based setup, but still, pretty tanky, really good physical bulk, and he's really there for the buffs and to finish off lower HP enemies. Then we have Summer Elsie. As you can tell, with 1000 magic, she's not going to hit as hard as Mont would. If she was at 120, that would be a lot better. She does have, though, 7.2k HP, which is pretty insane, with 46 defense pre-buff. But as a unit with only 12 spirit and 97 faith, she will die to magical attacks really well. So Mort has to take care of the magical threats, while Summer Elsie can deal with the physical ones. In terms of sub-jobs, we have Red Mage on Mort for the jamming thrust action, which is really, really good. Abilities on off very quickly. Everything is on in Mort's main job. And then in Mort's Red Mage job, I have turned off a couple moves. Basically, no, just Water Out, because I prefer to see her use instant cast moves like Jamming Thrust if she has the choice. Then on Tidus, I believe he has everything on in his main job. Yes, he does. And then in the Paladin job, well, there's a bunch of moves that you never want to see, like Divine Grace, Saintly Wall, because that screws up our early turn, and Saintly Healing. So that's it for him. And then finally with Summer Elsie, I've left the entire Scholar job on because these abilities have pretty good AI, but for Paladin I've turned off Divine Grace, Tonic Blade, and then Blade Bash as well. Saintly Healing is actually good on a caster because the HP recovery is based off of magic as far as I know, so I don't mind seeing that proc. Now with all that said, let's go in game. So our first enemy has Warrior of Light, Summer Kilphe, and Yuna. If the Yuna hits our Summer Elsie, she's kinda done for, but hopefully Yuna's gonna hit more, and then we'll have a pretty good chance to hit. Ideally, in terms of offense, what we want to see happen is Mort drop her LB, and then the other guys follow up, probably with an Elsie LB. If we can do that, there's very few people who can actually survive the burst. As you can tell, we increase Mort's defense first, and then use Tidal Calling for an extra water buff on everyone. That's just the early turns though. We should be able to get those buffs up on everyone before we join the fight. Tidus has time to cast Haste, which is super good. It's going to help us get all the other buffs up before we fight. Unfortunately though, the Haste kind of expires just before we fight, so that we might not have it on for much longer. So this time, Warrior of Light moves in, takes the LB. Now we do have Courage and Sphere Shot, we're able to finish him off. That's pretty good. I don't think Yuna's in range to hit again, so we can just keep applying our AoE buffs, and then move on to Yuna, who dies in one hit. Okay, that was a squishy Yuna. We're not really featuring Summer Elsie that much in that match. I think we're just dominating the enemy team a little bit, but let's see what Summer Elsie does this time. Drops the Bursting Light. Nope, that was Mort's attack. Alright, well, Elsie didn't get to do much, but her buff is actually really impactful. The 25 extra water attack on everybody is why we hit that hard. This time we're moving to more of a meta team, right? Gilgamesh, Duane, Black Witch. I don't know that we can win that one because Mort is the first one out on our team, and if Gilgamesh reduces her slash resist, she is not going to survive a single hit. Also, Duane might be able to one-shot her, so it's more a matter of can we get the first hit off of on the enemy, or will we move into their range, take the first hit, and then go down before the fight. We might be able to pull something off with Summer Elsie, but we would need the Black Witch to die for that to happen, because there's no way else to survive anybody else except for Duane and Gilgamesh. Like, the Black Witch will kill her pretty early on. Seems like it's a Duane Quicken comp though, so that might screw up our early turns, but it will kill Duane for sure. So I don't think I like this enemy start, actually. So we do get Haste up, and then Mort's in range to start hitting, takes away a good chunk of Duane's HP, and as expected, Elsie finishes him off afterwards. So far this is pretty good. They do seem to be layering another double turn, but unfortunately for them, the Black Witch does not move in range. So again, we see more into Summer Elsie attack, and then yeah, the enemy team just doesn't get a chance to do much. We eat one Gilgamesh Kotetsu, but then he dies to a Summer Elsie basic attack. So far, so good. Let's move on to a more evadey team. Now, our guys will struggle a little bit with accuracy, but fortunately for us, Summer Elsie's Limit Break is a guaranteed hit. So if, by chance, we get Moore's Limit Break and then Summer Elsie's with the water resistance down from Moore's LB, even if it misses, Summer Elsie's should be able to finish off the enemy team. Or at least, that's what we'll be hoping to see. Again, we might just get one-shot by the enemy Black Witch, which would screw us up, and I'm wondering what that Vinera's doing. I did not know you could run up that side of the map, so it might screw up her early turns a little bit. I guess we'll see. She has Shadowcast up and she's running on our team, but then the enemy Black Witch moves back. So again, an enemy team that seems to be spacing out a little bit too much. Moore does not attack. Yeah, we're not in range to hit yet, so we will be taking a hit from the enemy team. We don't lose Moore in a single hit, which is pretty good. Drop the Tuning Blade, but then I'm expecting this. Nope, still did not kill Moore. That's pretty impressive. So she tries to hit Duane. Let's see what happens here. Dreamy Typhoon into Unevadable Pain, and Duane is out. And then the Berserk Vinera goes down in a single hit. Moore plays again because of haste, so we all lap the enemy Black Witch and just take her out immediately. Yep, that also went pretty well. What about the Earth combo, right? There's some Zazan, Kitone everywhere. These guys also have Summer Lilyth. I don't think we'll be doing as well against them. The reason being, we have our initial burst, but we don't have that much tankiness. We're mainly damage controlling the enemy team. So if they have enough chances to hit us before we start retaliating, we will die. Ideally, we want them to rush us one at a time, so we can then kill them. Zazan seems to be going along with our plan, but, you know, he's immortal at least once, so it's not going to be that easy to kill him several times. Let's just see how it goes. So we have some of our buffs up. This guy has his 2 means of survivability already, and Lilyth seems to be taking the high ground, which I definitely don't like. I wish he wasn't doing that. So now Kitone's moving in our range, that's pretty good. We do have Tidal Calling and Cheer on everybody, and looks like they're grouping in front of us. Let's see what we can do. Miss both with the Astral Guidance, but Dreamy Typhoon hits, kills one, and would have killed Zazan as well, but him being an immortal man means he survives. Comes back to life once. Will we have time to cast Unevadable Pain before he plays? The answer is no, but somehow he's out of AP, so he doesn't get to use it. Moore eats the barrage and dies before she uses her spell though, so that's pretty bad. It's the first battle where we lose somebody. It doesn't seem to matter that much though. We are completely dominating these teams. Moving on to another pretty meta team, triple double cost unit seems pretty wonky, but King Mont is going to die very easily to our attacks unless he disables our guys first. Now, disable could be a major threat, but usually Moore's the one in front for our team, so if she survives Duane's attack, she'll be fine, and our Moore has a 50 disable resist, which should be enough to give us pretty good performance. Let's just see how it goes though. We do have Cheer, they have double resist, which is not going to help them against us, and it seems like their Duane is going to rush forward because he casts haste on himself. That's usually a really good TMR, but again, if it separates him from his team too much, I don't think it's going to be such a good thing for them. So Moore is now in range to hit Duane for once, takes out, basically takes 8,000 damage from the second hit. He is more than dead at that point. Then King Mont rushes forward by himself as well. More jabbing thrusts him for 10,000 damage and just takes him out. Summer Elsie then goes to die against the enemy Black Witch. She is not that tanky against magical attacks, but I guess she somehow takes the hit and lives. Color me impressed, so we heal her a little bit. Not that it's going to matter. She then proceeds to kill the enemy Black Witch. Another pretty neat victory here. Finally, I've been wanting to see this. Lemuré into Duane and Black Witch Helena. They are also going to have haste, and they're also going to have quicken. So I think this is one of those matchups where we might lose. Our main asset on those enemy teams is the fact that our initial turns does give us the AoE haste on all 3 of our members, so if the enemy team can have the same advantage, I don't think we're going to have such an easy time chaining on Duane before he retaliates, for example. Let's see it in action. So we get Cheer, that's great. Duane uses bells, Black Witch gives her barrier, and then they are going to be getting both their hastes up. So yeah, It is a really good enemy setup. Seems like the Black Witch is moving back though, so they will be spacing out a little bit. Duane has a Spirit Out buff that might help him quite a bit. I'm not sure what's going to happen now. Are they quickening Duane? Yes, they are. I think he's in range to hit us now, though, so that might be pretty scary. Yes, he does. Gets a pretty good hit onto Moore, but then he's in range, so we'll be able to hit both of them. Oh my gosh. Poor Helena. Looks like she decided to take a pretty heavy hit. Now, though, they can quicken her again. Nope, this is apparently White Mage Lemuré. I think if she had been a only a Time Mage there and used Quicken instead, it might have been a little bit better. So apparently this guy decides to haste himself, doesn't really matter, gets slowed, and we start hitting Lemuré, but I don't think she can win, and yeah, she proves us right and just goes down. That was our closest match so far. So that was it, guys. It's been a long time since I built a team that really felt dominating, but this is one of them. I haven't lost a single game so far in all my tests, so it's pretty impressive. If you think Summer Elsie is the reason we win, I think it's part of it, but I think just the synergy between our guys and the fact that we managed to get such a good start with all those buffs up is what makes it work that well. With different starting positions, it didn't perform nearly as well. So that was it, just showing off that team a little bit. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and then as per usual, guys, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.